Hello and welcome once again to Personality Quotient Conversations. And today I have with me our mentor Faisal Qureshi to answer questions that have been posted by you, our PQ fans, regarding the topic leader, influencer and opinion maker. Let's welcome Faisal Qureshi. Hi Faisal.
Hi Aisha, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Okay, so Faisal, we have 10 questions lined up, starting off with Mehreen Ahmed,
Okay.
who wants to know how can a person really decide if he has what it takes to be a leader? How can one be sure that he too can lead?
Okay, Mary, we all have a leader inside of us and we all have led at some point in our lives. So we do have what it takes to be a leader. Inherently, you're born with it. Now all we need to do is A, become irreplaceable. B, offer something of value to others. C, develop an appealing personality. And last but not the least, have the willingness, persistence, passion, and want to do approach. Build on these skills and look for opportunities to practice them, and nothing, and I mean nothing, will stop you from leading others as long as you're willing to evolve and better yourself continually. It's an ongoing journey. You can't say that I've reached here, I've done so much, no one's following me. No, you have to keep delivering, keep raising the ante, and trust me, we all have a leader inside us.
All right. The next question we have is from Maheen Zakaria, who wants to know which of the two is better, to inspire or influence. And if we take two people, that is a person who inspires people and a person who influences people, which one is a better leader?
All right, well, Maheen, first understand that the two words inspiration and influence are not really separate terms when it comes to leadership. Inspiration is the most pure form of influence that can be found in a leader's repertoire for leading others. Influence comes from inspiration, which is backed by passion, vision, and a purpose. If you've bettered yourself to a level where you're inspiring others, where you have so much value to give to the others that others are imitating you, are taking inspiration from you, taking lead from you, you're already in a position of influence. And your skill, your capability, and what you're putting on the table is the whole package that gives you that power.
All right. And she also wants to know, how can you ensure that your influence is permanent and not temporary?
Oh God, nothing is permanent in this world, and so do not assume your influence over others will be permanent either. To be influential, you need to keep evolving with time and adapt to all the changes around you. Give people a valuable reason to be influenced and maintain it, keeping in mind all the changes in the environment, in the situation, in their lives. People you're trying to influence are evolving. Their situations are changing, their lives are changing. So if what you have to offer as a teacher, as an inspirator, is not evolving and changing with it, it's not going to work. So do you have permanence still? No. Why bother being permanent? Let your memories be permanent. Let what you're doing, let your work be permanent. And even that, the greatest civilizations have disappeared. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Okay. Umar Iftikhar, he wants to know what are the factors which help in developing a charismatic personality.
Umar, to be able to have a charismatic personality, you need to have, most importantly, the right attitude. You need to believe in what you do and say. You need to be disciplined, be kind, charitable. You need to learn to take people along. Don't try to fly solo. Learn to cultivate your relationships with others. And of course, be authentic and true to yourself and others. But the attitude, be receptive, be open, be willing, be giving. You have to learn to work with people and you'll be fine.
Okay. Our next question has been posted by Umair Khalid, who wants to know that if a leader to be in lead, does he inspire others by his physical appearance? And he wants answer in contrast of Mr. Jinnah and Mr. Gandhi.
Okay, Umair, it has been said that the secret of leadership starts with how a leader wears his uniform. If a leader looks the part before he even says out a word, it automatically allows his listeners to be more receptive to the message. It is research that all great leaders in history were good-looking people, and you've put a contrast of Jinnah and Gandhi, but let's not forget Gandhi was also a good-looking figure. Not necessarily would you rate them good looking by current cultural norms, but depending what they're saying, where they are, the environment, the situation, looks do matter. Not necessarily do you have to look like a movie star, but you have to look relevant. You have to look the part. So yes, a leader needs to have an overpowering presence in terms of his appearance to be able to inspire people to follow him. And your appearance sends out a message about who you are and forms others' opinions about you. So to be effective, a leader needs to look impressive, sound impressive, be authentic, be believable, and be confident. Like I said, Mr. Jinnah had his own air of confidence, and so did Mr. Gandhi, but they look completely different. They were looking the part they were playing. They were looking what people needed to see at that point. And they were both in history at the same time, talking to similar people, but serving completely different needs. And thus they were looking completely different, but they were looking right. And that's the key.
Okay. Our next question is from Maham, who wants to know if you believe a leader is born and cannot be made.
Why is she specific about what I believe and not the science of it, huh?
She wants to know your input.
All right, a leader is both born and made. It's what you do, how you prepare yourself and the circumstances that surround you that help decide the effectiveness of your leadership. Leaders have an important responsibility, an important task. They've got important core abilities, most important being intelligence. However, they do require training and skills to convert a creative vision into a concrete program of action. Now, we can all develop a leader inside of us by seeking out growth opportunities that will help us learn new skills and how to effectively put them to use. Circumstances, events create leaders. You say opportunity knocks once or twice. Opportunity knocks over and over again, but you have to open the door. And when you open the door, the opportunity needs to see what she's come for. If she doesn't see what she came for, she's going to walk away. So you have, even if you're born with great abilities, even if you're born with great intelligence, great capabilities, if you don't nurture those capabilities, if you don't polish your skills, they'll all go to waste. So you could be born with the right skills, but you can also develop the right skills, and you have to work on your skills. You have to polish your skills and be the best at the game. So when the opportunity of leadership comes to you, you better be ready.
Right. She also has asked if a leader's course of action and style depend on the qualities of the follower and other variables related to the environment.
Okay, we talked about the environment, in the earlier question as well. We need people who are willing to follow those who lead. Now, people who implement leaders' plans. An individual only becomes a leader when he has a certain number of people backing him up in his quest to achieve success. Like it said, there is no leader in the absence of followers. On the other hand, every leader operates in a certain environment, which dictates to a considerable degree how the leader responds to problems and opportunities. So yes, a leader's course of action and style, for sure, depends on the followers and the environment that he operates in. And to be effective, leaders need to constantly adjust to the needs of followers and adapt to the changes in the environment with time. Like I mentioned earlier, Mr. Jinnah and the Qaid.
Yeah.
They were both working in the same time zone, same environment, same struggles, same cause, leading similar nations. But their style of leadership, their persona was completely different because they were catering to two different needs. And so, yes, the environment of your followers, the whole situation will tweak the style of leadership.
Okay. The next question has been posted by Sajjad Ali, asking how can we make sure our minds are more mature in the sense that the words we speak influence others, and what sources are available?
Read. You gotta read a lot. Read up on words that influence the world. Understand them, feel them, make them your own thoughts, make them your own beliefs, create new ideas and offer something of value. Become a collection of knowledge for others. Only then will you be able to influence people with what you say, Sajjad. If you don't read, you're no better than someone who cannot read. And if you don't read, you can still come up with the answers. You can still come up, you can create your own ideas. But just think about it. How difficult is that task of creating ideas? if you could just capture all the ideas that have already been created and then build above that, you will be ahead of the curve. So yes, read, acquire as much information as you can, process it and turn it into knowledge. And your knowledge is the biggest tool of any game. I'm not going to say just leadership, any game. You got to have knowledge.
Okay. Farhan Sheikh has asked that if in a society the leader is a wicked man and has been enforcing rules for about years which are against the will and wish of common people, what are the primary steps which people should take in order to live a happy life?
That's my touchy subject, huh?
Yeah.
Silence is a crime, a sin. Silence is a crime against humanity. Silence is painful. It's a sure shot killer. Nothing can be achieved if you remain silent. No happiness, no peace. It's time we all learn to speak up. There are great atrocities in this world. It's not about a country, about a society. There are atrocities being committed in this whole world. In even the most recent history, we've seen great crime, great deeds of oppression. You have to speak against oppression. You have to speak against violence. You have to speak against abuse. In short, you have to speak for change. Learn to speak up for what you believe is wrong, or else no one really suffers, but eventually it's you. So please speak out.
Okay. Faisal, Farhan also wants to know that if in a society a wrong and harmful accident is about to occur, and all the inhabitants consider it beneficial and have firm belief on it, except few people, which are the poor people of that nation or the society. So how should these people who are suffering handle such situations?
Oh, with the crime of the majorities, you mean, this whole situation about the majority of Farhan. It is societies like these where poor people are the sole reason behind such incidents, and the educated opinion never comes out. Remember, silence of the educated is the biggest crime, and no one can do anything to save them until and unless they're willing to help themselves by speaking up for what they believe is wrong. You have to learn to speak up. And yes, if we take the underdeveloped world, we always say that the vote bank, the majority, they're not really equipped to take the right decision. Thus, the wrong decisions are taken over and over again. Well, that's fine. You can't change that in the short term. But in the short term, there are those who are aware, who have better intelligence, who have been better educated, who have been better trained to make the decisions, but they are a minority. But the minority has a great voice. And again, like I said in the last question, like I've said over and over again, speak out, use that voice. Your educated, intelligent opinion has great weightage, great value. Speak out, share it with people. And as you share, as you propagate the word, more and more people will think, make their own intelligent decisions, make better decisions. And those better decisions will change the outcome of these choices, if I must say.
Right. Our last question has been posted by Yusuf Zai Khan, who wants to know if a person can still aspire to be a leader, opinion maker, and an influencer, even if they have many skeletons in their closet. Because it has been seen that the opposition starts targeting his or her credibility, reputation, once that person starts making waves.
Yeah, we all make mistakes, Don't let your past hold you back. Learn to reconcile. Own up to it. Apologize for your wrongdoings. Better yourself. You see, Yusuf, the key is to learn from your mistakes and not to be burdened by them. I've said it over and over again. If you let the past scar your today, your tomorrow is lost. You have to, and I repeat, you have to conquer the past. We have all made mistakes in life. Own up to them. Come clean. Say you made a mistake and that you've learned, and prove that you've learned, show that you've learned, better yourself and move on. Don't let the past bother you. People can attack your past only if you leave skeletons in your closet. Take them out, get rid of them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Faisal,
You're more than welcome.
for providing us all these answers and your valuable input. This brings us to the end of this conversation. For more PQ conversations, visit www.tv.personalityquotient.com.